Okay, so I'm out here again at the Mascoutin Valley State Trail. There's a little wetlands area kind of between Ripon and Berlin that I like to kind of frequent. And last weekend I was out here trying to capture some Great Egrets, and I was getting them using this camera right here. So this is the Canon M50, I believe it's a Mark II, so it's a mirrorless camera. It's not the latest and greatest by any means. I think it was maybe released in 2020, but kind of a consumer friendly, very entry-level mirrorless camera that you can use. So I paired that up with the Sigma Contemporary 150-600 lens, and I was using a Canon 2x converter as well, teleconverter. And what I found from experimenting with that last week is the wind was really brutal. It was really tough to get any good footage. I think most hobbyist photographers, people new to photography, would have been very disappointed with the results they got. I did get some nice footage that I was able to salvage, and a couple okay pictures, and I'll post those to my the video that I'll post before this one. But it was kind of a rough experience. So the wind's a little bit calmer today, this morning. There's not as many opportunities for egrets. I can tell you, there's, last week when I was out here, there was at least probably about a dozen or so flying around. This morning there might be a half a dozen. There's quite a bit less, and they seem to be stocked up on the other side of the pond here. So we'll see if we can get any opportunities to record them. But what I wanted to do differently this time around was I wanted to pair it up with the 1.4 teleconverter instead of the 2x teleconverter. I pretty commonly use the 1.4 teleconverter on most of my setups when I'm doing birding, so I'm pretty confident I'll get some much better results in footage. Not to say that the 2x converter is completely useless. It's okay in the right circumstances, if you get the right light, if you have a nice, calm day and you can put it on a tripod. I think the 2x teleconverter can be a very useful tool in the tool bag, but for your average, run and gun sort of scenarios, I'm not sure that you'll get great results. But the reason why I wanted to test it all out is what I noticed with the M50 that I haven't noticed with any of my other Canon bodies that I use. So I also use a T7i, and I also use a 60 Mark II Canon body. And the thing that I notice is whenever I pair up the teleconverter, any teleconverter, and the Sigma 150-600 is the autofocus only works in the like a single point mode. I can't use like a zone focus, like a zone autofocus mode where it actually does, automatic tracking of a subject. So if you have a bird in flight or you have something moving, it's very advantageous to want to use that mode. And what I noticed is with the M50 mirrorless is when I pair it up with the 1.4 teleconverter or the 2x teleconverter, the autofocus tracking mode works, and works very well from what I could tell. So it'll be interesting to do a few more tests just to see how this goes. There are some trade-offs with the M50 that I could probably do a whole video on the pros and cons of this camera body for wildlife photography. It's got some, some really, well, now that I know that the auto tracking works well with the teleconverter, that's a huge advantage. But there's also some disadvantages to the body that I dislike as well. But anyway, I was just out here testing this one out now with the 1.4 teleconverter, seeing if I could get some better results. And so far this morning, like I said, limited opportunities for egrets. I have seen a willow flycatcher. I got a really nice picture of a willow flycatcher, and I also had an opportunity to film a green heron, so I at least got some nice footage of a green heron that was very up close and approachable with and agreeable to the camera this morning. So anyway, I'll survey the area a little bit more this morning here yet, see what else we can get, and I'll share the results with you. Thanks.
Just kind of checking in here at the end of my excursion here, trying to film some egrets. I did have a little bit better luck. I ended up taking a little bit of a hike for a few hours down the Mascoutin Valley Trail, came back to this little wetlands area off of Meadowbrook Road, and it was much better in the afternoon than it was in the early morning. I had a lot more egrets in the area. I think maybe this morning it was a little bit cooler, not terribly cold, but down into the lower 50s, so maybe they just weren't as active right away in the morning, but by 11:30 to the noon time frame, they're very active. I was able to capture at least one egret pretty up close, doing some hunting with the M50 on the 1.4 teleconverter. So all in all, I think it was a pretty good outing. Wished for a few more opportunities to get some up close, but I think I got some nice film. I know I got some nice photos, so I'll go ahead and make sure that I share all that content with you in this video. And again, if you like what you're seeing, feel free to like and subscribe. I'll try to update the channel as frequently as I can with my next adventure. All right, thanks.